Hey everybody, Papa Gord here, and it's the Dooku review. Finally, there we go. Here's the box right there. Oh yeah, number 107. There you go. Your standard box still, right? Although, who knows? What's today? Today's Wednesday, so on Friday, Hasbro Pulse is going to be doing some Star Warsy thing at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, saying there might be a couple of new pre-orders and they might be some hints at packaging. So maybe this may be finally on its way out, and we get something different. Maybe who knows? So it would be nice. I think we're long overdue. But 107, Count Dooku, Christopher Lee. Honestly, I know he's been on a lot of people's list for a long time, but once you get this figure in hand, I can honestly say I think the wait was worth it. This figure is just gorgeous. My iPhone's not gonna do it justice, I don't think, at all. You really need to get this figure in your hands to fully appreciate him. And it's surprising that he's all brown. You tend to think Sith Lord black goes, that's what you need to be. You need to be rocking black to be a bad guy, right? So like dark browns and what have you. Yeah, I always thought he had some black to him, as I've never owned a Dooku figure. So I got out of collecting, well, after being a kid and putting my toys away and getting into, driving and jobs and girls and what have you, and then finally coming back to being a collector all these years later. I never collected when the Phantom Menace or Clone or any of those. And when the prequels started to drop, I never collected anything, I think, except for the battle droid on the Stap, on this little flying thing, so the very first figure or whatever. So that was, I think, the only figure I ever bought out of the prequels. But he is gorgeous. The face printing, I don't think I would want to see what kind of a Dooku they could have given us even less than 2 years ago, maybe, I don't know. But we get the Mace Windu, which was spot on. This one, I almost think that this might bump out of actual likeness to actors or actresses. Bespin Han is up there, I think, is a very good likeness. Mace Windu, definitely. Samuel L. Jackson would be my number one, I think. The Cara Dune, like the Gina Carano, I think is outstanding as well. So I think maybe Mace and her, and these would be my top three as far as actual likeness. He is just fantastic. It's a gorgeous figure. Only thing I don't like, and it was what I mentioned in my Knights of Ren, thoughts, review, whatever have you, is the single jointed knees, and Dooku, he's rocking those as well. It's okay. I mean, I like how they've got the pant leg, and it kind of comes down more over the knee. Here we go. And I don't know if you can hear that. They're clicky knees. Which, okay, whatever. But yeah, so I mean, that kind of comes down, and it covers over the joint, which well, at least a little bit of the joint, which is nice. And yeah, you only get that much. Hell, that's pretty good range on some Marvel Legends figures, for Pete's sakes, and probably a few Star Wars figures as well. I don't know. I haven't come around to this yet. I think it's fantastic, that we're seeing things like butterfly joints and the face printing, and even the head and the neck articulation with being able to get a lot more, waggle, is fantastic. But I don't know if going to single joints, if this is going to be, I think that's almost a step back. But I don't make those kind of decisions. But yeah, you get the soft goods, cloak, cape, whatever. You can do a few things, fold it over. It feels pretty decent. I like the little details on the clasps to go across there, like that face. It's just so it's just so good. Now there is a joint down in the neck and one up in the head, which again, we're starting to see this more, but it's nice because you can kind of give him a lean instead of trying to just cockeye his neck. But again, he doesn't get a whole lot of up as I'm looking up. And I even find the down. So that part of the range isn't, I don't know. I can get him down to a bit, but not as much range as I would think you would get out of the neck. But it's still good. As you can see there as well on the cut. So he does have that new butterfly joint, the Jedi joint, whatever, to make it easier for two-handed lightsaber poses or holding or whatever. So that's really nice. Again, single cut for the elbow, but it's a deeper cut, so you do get greater than 90, which again, that's nice as well. Even the torso, again, he's an older guy, so I guess Hasbro took that into consideration when they made Christopher Lee into an action figure, but he doesn't get, or mine at least does not get, a whole lot of backwards and forwards, which that's a little disappointing as well. Side to side a little bit, so that's a bit of a bit of a bummer. But again, I won't hold it against the figure, because I never saw he never did backflips or some Darth Maul kind of whippy around move. None of that stuff. So that's okay. The boots are good. Like, it's got like the swivel is that kind of a ball joint up in for that single, instead of being a swivel usually at the top of the boot, right? So, and you do have the upper thigh swivel hidden underneath, which it's nice. At least you've got the cuts on both sides, because he gets a pretty decent split for an older gentleman, and it doesn't hinder the leg. Like, he gets pretty good range, so that's kind of disappointing that the upper part is not as good. Now, I left his accessory in the entire time I've been talking about him, so let's take that out of his hand. Which, I mean, honestly, I've just kind of have had him just kind of standing, kind of, again, more or less like this pose, kind of more regal, whatever. So, but let's get it out. He holds it really well. Like, it's not a super, his hands are tight, but I don't feel like I'm gonna maybe either break them or either have them dig into my thumb, and there's a couple figures that's happened before. So yeah, so he's right there. And we're gonna look at the lightsaber. Again, it's that thicker material that they've been going with the lightsabers. think it withstands impact a little bit better than the older ones that even the entire blade was fairly thin, and that would go with the same with the little pin inside to keep it in. But the hilt is that classic, interesting Sith Darth Tyrannus look to it. Got the little bit down there, so, and the bends. I think it's rad. It's cool. It's something different. Yes, it's another red one. So we've got Vader, we got Maul, we got Tyrannus, we have Sidious. They could have given us a Sidious lightsaber, but maybe that'll be the surprise in, I don't know, whenever. But yeah, it's great. I really dig it. It does have the little nub right there, as you can see, which he's got right there. So he can actually have the lightsaber hilt on his person, and then he can put the blazes. I'll never have him pose that way. It's just cool that he can do that. And last but not least, again, I save all my boxes. I've got almost every box that's come with any figure I have, with the exception of some loose ones, and I don't even know if I kept the very first 3 that I ever got. I know I have, I think, 2 out of 3 boxes replaced now, but that's just kind of how it went when I didn't know I was going to collect Black Series. Thank you, Uncle Mike. So, just gotta put that plug out there. So, as far as other accessories, what does he come with? What could he have come with? What should he have come with? Whatever. I mean, I could state the obvious. I haven't tried to pull the hands out of the character yet. Because he's not readily available up here in Canada. So, if I were to break a hand, I could get him. I'd have to order him down through the States, but I could not find him anywhere even remotely close to my house. So I couldn't walk over to the Walmart and find him there, because either this wave has kind of hit a little bit, like maybe 1 case per store. I did find the corrected box with the Luke Skywalker from Yavin, the Yavin Luke. So I was like, ooh, that shows me that was the remnant of this wave, because he was also packed in that one. So, which I bought it because now I've got, not that it matters that I have the proper spelling and the not proper spelling, but whatever. So, yeah, so I did get this again, Redshift 7 out of Canada, but that was in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, which is a few provinces away from myself. And again, I don't know how many extras he might have had on hand. But anyway, so like I said, you can't really get him. And with what's going on right now, Walmart's our only physical store we can actually go in and shop. So that's a lot of people wanting to find the same things in one of the same stores. And yes, there's a lot of Walmarts, but yeah, anyways. So I haven't gone with the obvious take the hands off, because we all know he loses his hands. The head, same thing. I would be nervous about taking it off and maybe not getting it back on, not knowing exactly what is up in there, the mechanics. But then, I mean, really, you'd have to take it down deeper, because it would have been a clean cut, not a stump. So because his neck is also painted that darker brown, as like a tunic piece, that wouldn't work. Sith lightning fingers, that comes to mind. That would have been something that would have been pretty rad for him to have, because we saw him use Sith lightning. So I think a couple of lightning hands, 1 lightning hand would have been okay. It would have been a little cheap, but I would have been okay with 1. That was really all I could think of. But in I don't know, this will go on if there was a list of slightly weird accessories for Star Wars, the Black Series. I haven't even taken this piece out of the box. Oof. Okay, it almost broke the tip. So, yeah, as far as weird accessories, this one, I think is... Yeah, I can't honestly think if there's another accessory that's even stranger than that. It's a force, you know, like a slashy. Okay, sure. It's something. It's something. That's really... Yeah, I will put it in the hilt, like I will put it in the saber. I will take a picture. I will put it back so it looks like this, and this is going to go back in the box, and I'm never going to use this again. Thank you, Hasbro. I don't know. This is almost as bad as the Dorito stand version 1 that came out with the rocket, or the rocket trooper. That little, just the cup just wasn't built right to hold a foot. Now the newer ones seem to be doing better, but yeah, it's thank you for that little bit of, but I think again, Sith lightning, like lightning hands, would have been the way I would have gone, or I would have liked to have seen. So yeah. Anyways, guys. So yeah, I went on a few stories there, but he's fantastic. He's a gorgeous figure. I've said that a couple times, but he really is. Whether you're an in-box collector, I kind of feel bad for you. I could see why you'd like. I don't know. It's to have your characters with arms just at their sides, looking that you can look through the plastic window, and never be able to experience seeing your figure rocking his lightsaber or holding a blaster or whatever. You know, I really have to thank, again, from starting to watch Mike's channel a few years ago and going through being an opener to, again, I used to be an inbox, and then I tried and I broke my first figure I opened up because his joints were too stiff from all those years, and I didn't think I'd ever do it again. But to get them in hand again, this size feels very natural, so as if I was still a kid holding the original sized figures. But yeah, he's incredible. I don't know, a top contender. There's lots of figures and lots of characters I want to see in the line, but as far as like a most wanted, he held that top spot, or a very high spot, for quite a long time, and now to have a worthy successor. So there we go. Let me know down in the comments, now that he's off, and off the market, and I would think that most collectors, Star Wars, would easily want to have him in your collection or their collection. So let me know, who do you think comes up to being in the #1 most sought figure to be made? Let me know down in the comments. Yeah, so as that, not that that leads to anything, but get it out again. The Black Series, the backpack 500 subscriber giveaway is starting to creep pretty close. I think we're within 13 subscribers. So we're getting there, people. You can tell that Uncle Mike got something in the mail from me, and he reviewed it, and then you see a slight bump in my subscribers. So thanks again to Uncle Mike for plugging my little channel here. So yeah, so once we hit 500, we'll draw and we'll get that sucker sent to somebody and make somebody's last few months maybe a little more enjoyable. So that's gonna do it for myself, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the review. It is 20 minutes long. It is what it is. So hopefully we got a live stream coming soon. I'm waiting for some stuff in the mail, but that's even running really slow right now due to life. So be patient. It'll come. Live stream will be soon. We'll start getting some more reviews and stuff out there as well. I want to go back and revisit a few figures also. Yeah. So that's excuse me. So that's gonna do it. Comment, share, like, subscribe, all that usual YouTube mumbo jumbo. Definitely helps out the channel. We'll talk to you guys again real soon. Later, eh?